are.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the I Can Do This All Day podcast. I'm Dan, the part-time adventurer. That's Mark, the resident Jedi.
Hello there. Today we're here to talk about some spookiness. We've watched a few Halloween movies already this year, but we know that there are so many more. And with Halloween right around the corner, we thought, what better service can we give to the public than to give you our individual Mount Rushmores of Halloween movies, the movies we watch and have to watch every Halloween season, the movies that make us jump, that scare us, that bring us joy, and that y'all should watch.
So before we get into this list, Mark, there's so many different movies that remind people of Halloween, and there's countless horror movies. So many of them. Are there any ones that didn't make it on your list, that you have some honorable mentions? And do you have any special criteria that made you make your list and why it stands out to this day?
So anybody that's listened to one of our many episodes would know that I'm advisably not a big horror movie guy. I'm not a big scare me person. I'm just not there. I prefer my horror with a bit of comedy, or with more of a psychological scare, not a gory scare. But there's so many honorable mentions for me. And I'll give you a few. I'm sad they're not on my list, but my list is so good. For me, it all starts with Arachnophobia, one
Ooh,
of
that's a
the
good one.
scariest, funniest movies that is out there. Something that I think is overlooked in such a big way, and it's not a Halloween movie per se, but it's such a good, funny horror movie with such an amazing cast. Funny horror movies with an amazing cast. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Shaun of the Dead. If I didn't talk about From Dusk Till Dawn, one
Ooh,
of
that's
my
another good one.
all-time favorite. That movie, if you have a group of people coming together for Halloween, put that movie on. Just put it on and let them
Especially with
watch
little
it.
kids.
Not with little kids. But if
Oh,
they've
no? No?
never From Dusk Till Dawn, and
Oh.
if they've never seen it, there's a point in the movie where they'll be like, "What the fuck?"
It's pretty early on. It's what
It's
the
very
fuck, but then
early
it
on,
goes
but
into
it's
like,
so
what
good.
the fuck?
I mean, the whole movie is kind of what the fuck, but it is prime. And you wouldn't think that Clooney and Tarantino acting together would work as well as it does. Um, it's just so good. That one hurts that it's not on my list. And more of the funny horror for me. I talked about Shaun of the Dead. Death Becomes Her, an old Bruce Willis movie that's great. Once Bitten, very early Jim Carrey kind of 80s romp around. Edward Scissorhands, not really scary, but kind of terrifying, but really just funny. Even down to stuff like The Sixth Sense, which is so deep and so good, but also kind of scary. And the Eddie Murphy favorite, Vampire in Brooklyn. I don't know where to put it on a list, but if you don't talk about it being so much better than any funny Halloween movies that come out now, like Hubie Halloween, I don't need that shit. Give me Vampire in Brooklyn over that all day and twice on Sunday. I love The Sandman, but Eddie Murphy kicked his ass there. Um, but that's a pretty, a pretty deep list. Still love the classics like Halloween, the millennial loves like Urban Legend. But Dan, I've been rambling about movies I like that aren't super gory. I've got a feeling you may have some undecided, some honorable mentions that are a little different than mine. What sticks
Yeah,
out for you when it's a horror movie, when it's a Halloween movie?
yeah. The funny thing is about a Halloween movie that's changed over the years, and it's because my wife, her favorite time of the year is Halloween. And I'm sure you've seen some of the memes like, ooh, it's spooky season now. Like, that's my wife. So we've got like a really cool Halloween tree decked out. It's our Christmas tree, but it turns into like a seasonal type of tree throughout the year. So Halloween is one of those fun times. So we're kind of spookied out around the house. Even just naturally, her office has a bunch of scary, spooky stuff in it, and so does my son's. My son's room has like the creature from the Black Lagoon, and so like a prerequisite for me for Halloween movies is movies that I will watch at Halloween. And I'm not trying to give a clue to what my list is. It doesn't necessarily mean it's Michael Myers movies. So it's just anything that's around that time of year that gets me in the mood, makes me think of Halloween as a kid. That's what my criteria was for making it on the Mount Rushmore. And there's plenty of movies out there that are so awesome and could be on the list, but just doesn't happen to fall on my list right now. And a lot of them are some of the more recent horror movies, like The Conjuring, and even some of the other stuff, like M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That is a creepy ass movie. It's about grandkids that go to stay with their estranged grandparents, and things don't turn out as they seem. And so that was like a really cool movie to me, and probably one of the best M. Night Shyamalan movies, maybe even since The Sixth Sense, because he kind of dropped off here and there. But those movies, the first Megan was great. And then you also have like any of the Halloween movies themselves. So many different ones that could have been on this list, but I like my list. Some of it will be controversial, and I'm sure some of you listening or viewing might be thinking, like, what kind of Mount Rushmore list is this? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's our Mount Rushmore of Halloween movies. We're the ones with the podcast. You're the one listening. If you want to come up with your own list, come up with your own podcast. But hey, you're in our world and you're a guest to our world. So we're just happy to have you listening and viewing this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Anything else for you?
I have one question for you. Because Halloween is so big in your house, um, it always makes me think of Christmas and how Mariah Carey starts in like November, sometimes October for some people. When does the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack start in your house? When is it? This is Halloween. Is that like a Fourth of July song for y'all, or how does that go?
Um, Usually like when it's back to school. Like back to school is usually when it'll start because that's when you'll see some of the Halloween early decorations out. And even some of the Spirit Halloween stores will be opened up around that time. So, yeah, once that happens, you know it's on. But we're going to get to that point, and we are at that point because by the time we're releasing this, we'll be almost a full month in for all the Halloween spooky scary movies. So for me, it's not just about gore, it's not just about jump scares, it's about a lot of different things. It's about memories of trick or treating, stuff like that. But it starts off pretty early. What about your household? Anything? Are you guys big fans and big decorators of the spooky season?
No, my son really loves getting dressed up. There was pre-kids. There was Halloween, um, one Halloween tradition that we would always have, and it was leaving our house and unplugging our doorbell. We'd go to like a corn maze, to wait out until our absolute favorite Halloween activity, which is part of my Rushmore, and I won't spoil it. But now with the little guy, he loves costumes, loves getting dressed up. I think he's got like three costumes this year. One of them
Nice.
being Weird Al. I'm very proud of myself as a dad, that my 4-year-old wants to be Weird Al for Halloween. But we're even doing like Mickey's Not So Scary this year. Um, so it's a thing here now. But I've never been that guy with Halloween, but
I
now I,
think it would
now I have
be
to be.
a shame to gloss over this, but are you dressing up as a family for Halloween, or do you have a Halloween costume?
Um, I think I'm getting away with a t-shirt referencing the family costume. Um, but I don't know. I kind of at this point in my life. do what needs to be done for the group. For on Halloween, I have a Weird Al tour T-shirt that I will wear as my son is Weird Al. So I'm getting into it in that way. But I'll do what I need to do.
I am going to be, well, the family as a whole, we're going to do a spooky themed family costume thing. So I think my youngest son is going to be Billy the Puppet from Saw. My oldest is going to be, gosh, I want to say he's going to be the Terrifier. And I can't remember what my wife is going to be, but I think she was
The
going to be
leader.
like a sexy ghost face. So it's one of the few times that she's doing like the sexified characters. A lot of times she just does spooky stuff. And then I'm going to be a Michael Myers Austin Powers. So I'm going to have the Michael Myers mask and I'm going to have the Austin Powers suit. Not the blue crushed velvet one that you're thinking of. I'm talking about like the striped purple and blue one. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to wear it.
If you don't have the pirate shirt, I'm gonna be disappointed.
It's a good suit. It's a good suit. So it might be even something that I'll wear out just to be like stupid. I don't know. It'll be fun. But yeah, let's roll into this Mount Rushmore, and we're gonna start things and kick things off with one of my picks, and that is Ernest Scared Stupid. If you have not partaken in Ernest Scared Stupid, please do so. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous premise overall, and Ernest is Ernest to the max. But there's also like a feel good story about it. And a little bit of backstory about this. The reason why it reminds me of Halloween so much is because there was a little work hiatus I took, and that was to really spend a lot more time with my son while my wife worked. And every morning that we would take her to work, we'd come back to the house and he would want to watch Ernest Scared Stupid. And we would watch it like 2 or 3 times throughout the day. Like, mom would come home and she'd be like, "So what'd you guys do?" And the first day was like, he wanted to watch Ernest Scared Stupid, so we watched it. And then after it was done, he wanted to watch it again. So that's what we did. And then, a few not years, but a few weeks into it, she's like, "So what'd you guys do?" And I would almost just shudder in fear, just like, he made me watch Ernest Scared Stupid again. But as ridiculous as it was and how many times that we watched it, it was still ingrained in the Halloween season. And my son was so happy watching it that it made me happy.
How
So,
old was he?
he must have been a little bit over 2, almost
Oh
3.
man.
So he loved it, but he was so excited. So that's why it's on my Mount Rushmore because it's a nice core family memory, and I'll never forget it. For his first movie that he just watched on repeat was Ernest Scared Stupid.
It
What
is
about you? Do you ever watch it?
OG. No, I'm sure I watched it forever ago. It's not a regular, but Halloween movies that I can show my 4-year-old are
It's great.
short to come by. I'm kind of
It's really
interested
fun.
now. This might end up being on my Halloween list.
But as we go on to the next pick on Mark's Rushmore,
Oh, the peak of Sam Raimi, one of the most ridiculous and amazing horror movies, in my opinion, that's both funny and really creepy. Evil Dead 2, which is basically the same movie as Evil Dead 1, but with a budget. Um, I mean, who doesn't love Bruce Campbell? And I love the sequel to this too, Army of Darkness. Your opinion doesn't matter on this podcast when it comes to Bruce Campbell, sir. This movie's amazing, and it holds up. It's still funny. I don't care if they remake it. I'm never watching anything but this version of Evil Dead.
it is a fun movie and it's definitely iconic. I think for me, the reason why it didn't hit with me is because I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be like just all evil, spooky, scary. I didn't realize it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching this and I'm just confused. And I think I've said this a few times on the podcast before. And it's not to disrespect Sam Raimi and his body of work. It's not my cup of tea, but at the same time, I just wish I would have gone into it with the proper expectations.
I mean, this is one that your son will watch on repeat once you let him because, oh, it's so good. So
It's,
good.
the funny thing is, it's not because I would let him to watch the movie. It's like I'll let him watch whatever. He just hasn't taken an interest in watching it. So we've
Mhm.
watched a little bit of the what was the Netflix show that was on with him?
Oh, Bruce
Ash.
Ash and the Evil Dead?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Ash and the Evil
Yeah.
Dead or
That
whatever.
was cool. And
But
that
it's,
was a lot of fun,
I
but
mean,
he
you
never took
need to
any
sit him down and back up Evil Dead 2 directly into Army of Darkness.
I just don't know if he would be into it.
Oh,
But I could be surprised. I don't know. I might be wrong on that one.
dude, shop smart, shop S smart, my friend.
Anything else about Evil Dead 2? Any favorite parts?
I mean the whole thing is so good, but the way that he comes up with shotgun ammunition, or no, that was Army of Darkness. I just love the way they mesh together. I love that the first movie tried to be scary but was campy because of the cast. And in Evil Dead 2, they leaned into the campy instead of trying to make it scarier with a budget. Right? The
Yeah.
remake that they did more recently, they apparently leaned into the scary and didn't
Oh
get
yeah,
into
all scary.
campy. Yeah, no, that's not what I love. I love this. This is quintessential for me and such a great movie for Halloween.
And the numbers don't lie. I mean, there's so many different fans out there and it has such a following. So, hey, who am I to argue? And let's go on to the next pick on my Rushmore, and it is the original Ghostbusters. So, with Ghostbusters, I think everyone wanted to be a Ghostbuster when this movie came out. I didn't get a chance to be because I never had Halloween costumes bought for me. It was always like the shitty ones, like let's dress you up like a hobo, let's do something, or like it was like the shittiest of all the costumes. Like the garbage bag that basically made you look like a pirate because it's just a red garbage bag on top, a black garbage bag on bottom, and yeah, not the best.
Arr.
But Ghostbusters, such a fun movie, and it definitely reminds you of Halloween because there's freaking ghosts.
It's
And how
freaking
many
ghosts,
people
Mr.
have
Bigglesworth.
dressed up as Ghostbusters in Halloween in TV shows, in other movies? It's just fun. It's iconic. And you've got to have the best, maybe even most iconic Halloween type villain with Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's the
I
best.
so excited for when my son gets into this. Um, like he'll do it. He's finally taking on some of the Henson stuff now. He's in a Fraggle Rock phase. Like, Blippy was a thing for a minute, but now we're getting him into the good shit. And I think I'm gonna strategically next year sprinkle in some Ghostbusters, because I want to wear the jumpsuit again, uh, and have a reason to buy a proton pack. But it's gonna be a thing, and I'm excited for it. I didn't put this on my list because I knew it was on yours, and it made it easy. It made it a decision easier for me. But I can't argue. Such a huge part of our childhood. So many great quotable lines. Um, Jeff's kiss.
Yeah. And fast forward, like it's a big part of my childhood for Halloween, even though I never dressed up as a Ghostbuster. Fast forward 30 plus years, and my wife made the cutest costumes for my boys because my oldest wanted to dress up as a Ghostbuster, so he was Egon. So we gave him like little nerd glasses and did his hair like the cartoon Egon with a little curl. And
Yes.
then for my youngest, who was maybe 18 months at the time, if that, she made this like makeshift type of Stay Puft Marshmallow Man outfit. So he had the little beret, and his fat arms and fat legs are just like spilling out of his onesie and stuff. Like it was just the best. It was the best. And
Mm,
I remember I had to work specifically for when they dressed up. And luckily, she brought them over to my place of work, and it was just like the coolest thing to see them. And I was just like, yeah, that's Ghostbusters. That's Halloween. And now here it is in my adulthood, and my children get a chance to celebrate something that is older than dad, or almost as old as dad. And it's just a great time, great memory. So
that's so
Ghostbusters
dope.
on my Mount Rushmore, but going on to the next pick.
The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick movie that I can stand. Jack Nicholson, just a quintessential role. Shelley Duvall, the creepiest woman on the planet in this movie. Scatman Crothers, taking an axe to the back. But seriously, this movie has the timing, the music, the creepiness. And me and my wife watched this every Halloween for like 6 years. It was just our Halloween movie, and we'd turn it on because it's not gory scary, but it's just right from the timing and the jump and the story. So good. Just choice.
And just iconic, like how many times have people said, "Here's Johnny," and whether it's cartoons, movies, TV shows, friends, family members, so many people, and
Some of them may have
Nicholson
been
just kills
referring to
it.
the Tonight Show,
Mm.
but even The Simpsons hit The Shining. No TV and no beer, Meg Homer, something,
Something,
something.
something.
Don't mind if I
Uh,
do.
that's that's so funny that you say that because I watched that episode on repeat because that was one of the Simpsons episodes that I taped and just would continue
Mhm.
to watch it. It was
Oh,
the
it was like
best, and
the
of
first
course,
or second Treehouse of Horror. It was amazing.
yeah,
It was
and we
amazing.
probably saw it on so many reruns too.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. But this movie is so iconic that even the pattern on the carpet is redone in so many places,
Yeah.
right? Like the Overlook Hotel and this movie is so great. And it's referenced in such high levels in so many other movies. Um, doesn't get much better for a creepy violent, scary movie that isn't this, that is more psychological than gory.
Well deserved to be on your Mount Rushmore. But going on to the next pick, this is actually one of yours again.
It is. And you want to talk about scary, cerebral movies? This movie I didn't see until I was in high school. It was re-released to the theaters. I'm not a scary movie guy, but I still went in the theater, bucket of popcorn, enjoying this movie. And this gave me the biggest jump scare of my life in a theater where my popcorn went flying, and it was when the phone rang halfway through the movie. Not even a scary part. But there may not be a more disturbing, scary, and just disturbing is the best way that I can describe The Exorcist. If you really watch it, listen, the visuals, the inflection, the commentary on Christianity, this movie is fucking just ah. And that's what I like on for a Halloween movie, right? Like freak me out, but not from blood and gore, from just oh. Um, and that's how I feel when I watch The Exorcist.
So surprising enough, I don't think I've ever watched The Exorcist all the way through. I watched a majority of it, but multiple times. I either caught the beginning, or caught the end, or just caught the middle,
Mhm.
but never watched it all the way through. And I think part of it is because I know that it's great, that I'm just like, I don't want to ruin what the picture of it is in my head. Like I remember a lot of it, but at the same time, I don't want to watch it and then just shit on it. So I think
Yeah.
that's part of my reason as to why. Like I'm just gonna believe that, like, yeah, it's the scariest movie ever
I mean,
because it's just so
I'll
well
still
done.
drop a recommendation on this movie to folks who are like, what's something I can watch for, what's a Halloween movie I haven't seen yet that I should watch? And I'm like, have you seen The Exorcist? And they're like, the 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 70s Exorcist? Fuck yeah, that movie's disturbing as fuck.
Yeah. It's good. And it has like some spin-offs, and
Hmm.
Exorcism itself has been pretty well done in a lot of
Hmm.
movies. But where did it all stem from? This one. So that it made it the most interesting one. It's the most original, and yeah, Simpsons did it first.
It the lighting, the music, the whole thing is just it is classic because it's beautiful.
Absolutely. But something that's not so beautiful is my next pick on the Mount Rushmore, and it's John Carpenter's Vampires. So a little bit of history about this movie is I got into this, I believe, like the summer of fifth grade. My brother came back from college and was talking about like, oh yeah, you need to watch this movie. It's badass. And so what did we do? We rented it. I watched it multiple times, and I didn't think it was going to be badass because I don't buy James Woods as a badass bona fide action star protagonist. But he's pretty cool in this. Not bad. Not bad at all. And a really great supporting cast, and he even got one of the Baldwins in there. The one that you don't think of as being successful. So Daniel Baldwin, right? But yeah, John Carpenter's Vampires. I think John Carpenter himself has so many great movies. And does he have better movies? Sure. But does he have a Halloween movie that gives me Halloween memories and deserves to be on my Mount Rushmore? Not as much as vampires. This movie was a lot of fun, a lot of entertainment, and a nice, cool take on what it takes to hunt vampires. You need an entire team and a preacher, a padre, if you will. So, loved it, loved it.
Oh, one of the most iconic cross props of all time.
But going
Oh,
on into the next pick, this is another one of mine. Scary movie. Ah, I love it because it makes fun of so many different scary movies. And it just makes me think of Halloween just because the whole silliness aspect of everything, all the jokes, the slapstick, and all the references. It's like all rolled into one. Plus, it's funny, legitimately funny. So, this is why I think that this is one of the best Halloween movies because it gives that element of mystery and what the fuck and just scary stuff, but a lot of great pop references and popular culture things. And so, yeah, I mean, I think the was up ghost scene, and they made like a an official mask for that too. And so, yeah, I'm all for it. That's why it deserves to be on my Mount Rushmore. So many core memories.
I'll give you the franchise, but this isn't the best movie in it.
The second one is pretty good,
Scary Movie
but
3
ooh, ooh,
with The
no,
Ring, with the chick
no,
from The Ring. Oh,
it's fine. It's all right.
and they
Not as
do
good as the
Eight
first one.
Mile. Oh,
Six. Or I'm saying not six. The second one, just because of all the different references, and of course you got the take my strong hand shot. Like
that one
that is
is
quotable
yeah.
for
The
sure.
fact that they do that, yeah, yeah. The strong hand is
But
so good. I still say that. Take my
oh,
strong.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. My wife and I
Oh,
say it all the time. Anytime there's mashed potatoes being made, or if it's at like a buffet or like at a party, like we just joke about like all the fucking gross hands that's been on the serving spoons and just stirring it around with with our little mitts. But going on
oh, that's
to
great.
the last pick for you for your Mount Rushmore.
The last pick and the best pick of my entire Rushmore is my absolute favorite Halloween tradition is to end my night at midnight at a midnight showing with audience participation of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you haven't done it on Halloween, you have not done it. Everybody dresses up. Everybody brings audience participation. If you've never seen the movie, not the best place to see it for the first time, but let's be honest, it actually might be. But people are going to quote it, people are going to talk along with it, and it is just such a fun Halloween tradition. You know, we're not TPing houses, we're not playing ding dong ditch, we're not lighting bags of poop on people's. No, we're going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and this is one of those things that I can't wait to do again on the reg when my son's old enough to do it, but I'm a decade away from that at least. But I remember discovering this movie on cable and being like, how the fuck has nobody told me this is a thing? And it's just so great. Um yeah, I can't say I've talked about it before on this podcast. I've made you watch it. It is by far my favorite Halloween movie.
If you haven't checked out our previous episode, it's a retro rewind where we did Enter the Dragon and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yes, that's right. Two movies all in one episode, 2 hours plus of movie talking goodness. But yeah, check it out. But yeah, I mean, for sure, this is another iconic movie, cult classic, and people that have been involved with the midnight showings, the multiple cosplay conventions, people dressing up like this, and just the references that it has just in pop culture and movies and TV alike. You know, it's just really great, and being able to see, oh my gosh, the overall ridiculousness and nonsensical plot of this movie, and yet it still has staying power.
Oh,
It deserves to be
the
on a
plot is
Rushmore for sure.
completely nonsensical, but it's got catchy music, it's hilarious, and it's just a visual sensation.
And isn't that what Halloween is? So that's where we wrap up our Mount Rushmore of Halloween movies. I'm Dan the Part-Time Avenger. That's Mark the Resident Jedi.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit us up on the socials. Let us know what your favorite Halloween movie is. And go do the time warp.
Let us know what type of candy you score for Halloween. We want to
No
know.
circus peanuts. No circus peanuts.
We'll see you next time, everyone.